Hello and good morning, good afternoon, um, and welcome to the What We Need Spotlight interview series.
Good
Um,
morning and afternoon to you and to all your uh, followers.
Thank you. Thank you, Miroslava. And today we have Miroslava with us from Montenegro. And Miroslava, thank you so much for being available for this short What We Need Spotlight interview. Miroslava, I will be asking you some questions during this spotlight interview. So my first question to you will be, can you tell us your about yourself, um, your name, your organization, where you're located in, the work which your organization is doing?
Yes, sure. I'm Miroslava-Mima Ivanović, lawyer with disability, as I'm a wheelchair user with visual impairment. And I'm executive director of the initiative of youth with disabilities of Boka. Boka is based on the coast of Montenegro, and Montenegro is one small European country. We are working mainly in Boca Bay, let's say, region, where are 3 municipalities, but also some issues which are not tackled by other organizations of persons with disabilities. We are tackling from the national but also international level. And in that sense, we are the member of TCI and the European Network on Independent Living. We were established in April 2019, so actually we are pretty young organization, but we have implemented around 30 projects so far, and they are tackling also institutionalized persons with disabilities, such as elderly with disabilities, persons with psychosocial disabilities, persons with intellectual disabilities.
Okay, thank you so much, Miroslava, and we are glad to have you with us today for this interview. Thank you for sharing what initiative of youth with disabilities of POCA do. So I would like to ask you in the next question, as IYDB is the first OPD in Montenegro to work with older people with disabilities as well as to work with people with psychosocial disabilities who are institutionalized. Can you tell us about the work you have done towards deinstitutionalization of persons with disabilities?
The IYDB was established in order to deal with some issues in the disability rights area which are not tackled by other organizations of persons with disabilities, and among these issues are elderly with disabilities and persons with psychosocial disabilities, especially those placed in residential settings. In that sense, a few days ago, we organized third workshop in the special hospital for psychiatry in Kotor. This is the, let's say, main special hospital for psychiatry in Montenegro. And around 280 persons with psychosocial disabilities are placed there. Although this is a hospital, because of lack of community living support services for persons with psychosocial disabilities, around 30% persons placed there live there for decades. So not because of treatment they need, but because they do not have anywhere other to go. Also, elderly people very often have disability, which is caused by their age. and health conditions, but they are very rarely included in the disability policy area, and they are not considered as persons with disabilities. And because of that, we, within our awareness raising campaigns, point out that problem, but also we conduct workshops in the elderly home, Grabovac Risan. This is the oldest elderly home in Montenegro, which is located in Kotor. So our headquarters, the town where is our headquarters, and the one municipality of 3 municipalities in Boka Bay. We have organized yesterday the second workshop in that elderly home, and we through these workshops we are collecting recommendations from participants about activities which would enable them to better engage themselves and better participate in the community life. The recommendations collected within last 2 workshops will be taken into account when defining the goal of the donor evening we will organize next year in order to conduct fundraising for activities which will improve their social inclusion.
So thank you so much for this brief response to my question, Miroslava. I really appreciate. So you shared like I want to pick up like 2 points from your response. One was that what is happening inside the institutions with people with psychosocial disabilities, and as you said, like it's just violation, and we don't accept that to happen with people with psychosocial disabilities inside the institutions. And the second was like there is no support available inside the communities, because if there is no support, there is no services. That transition, they cannot, come out of the institutions and live in the community, because there is no support and services available in the community. So how how you guys have been working with the government to raise this issue in front of the government, and make sure that these services and support systems are available to prevent institutionalization and also to deinstitutionalize, which is also linked. I will also link this question with the DI guidelines. Like, are you like also working with the government to take forward the implementation of the DI guidelines work? Yeah.
The IYDB and I, as its representative, submit applications for membership in relevant working groups of, first of all, Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, as it is responsible for community living support services. One of those working groups I'm member of is the working group for drafting of the strategy for deinstitutionalization. Unfortunately, that working group has held only 1 meeting, although it was established last year. And we are actually constantly in communication with the representatives of Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, but unfortunately that communication is not very fruitful, as there is a lack of responsibility for actually implementation of the activities which would enable independent life of all persons with disabilities, including persons with psychosocial disabilities, unfortunately. So the community living support services were defined as social and child protection services by the law in 2013. But so far, we don't have prescribed the cost of, for example, supported housing. Only personal assistance and assistance at home costs are were defined, but last year actually, and without these steps, prescribing the standards for services, prescribing their costs, and other, let's say, legal and procedural steps by the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, there is no possibility to actually provide community life support services in the practice. What we have with the personal assistance is one very big problem, is that the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare declares itself as incompetent to provide personal assistance, but only to ensure the framework for other subjects, such as non-governmental organizations, to license themselves as a provider of, let's say, personal assistance, but also other community living support services. So in such environment, there is very small opportunity for cooperation with Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, because they want to actually escape their responsibility and put it on the non-governmental organization, private sector, and so on. This year we prepared almost all documents needed for licensing of the IYDB for provider of personal assistance and assistance at home, and we have not received any support by the relevant ministry in that way. Contrary, we submitted 4 years the projects related to licensing of the IYDB for provider of these community life support services, and we didn't receive any financial support from the ministry for realization of those projects. So we participate within the working groups. We conduct awareness raising campaigns as we collect data about the violation of rights of persons with disabilities in general, and especially persons with disabilities, with psychosocial disabilities and other disabilities who live in these institutions. So we collect data about violation of their rights, right to independent living and community life support services. And with that, on that way, we try to push public pressure to ministry, and also we use court proceedings for protection from disability-based discrimination as a tool, legal, let's say, tool to actually to force ministry and centers for social works to do their job actually. What I want to add is that also the IYDB, and I'm as its representative, actually I'm the member of the Council for Protection of Rights of mentally ill persons. That's the name of the body, which is the body for protection of patients' rights within the Special Hospital for Psychiatric Author. And the patients who are placed in this hospital have the right to actually submit appeal to a council. And from actually from our practice, we see that centers for social work are very, very inactive, and that they usually insist that person with psychosocial disability is placed in the hospital, as in the meantime they put some guardian for that person, usually from the center, and they don't actually feel any responsibility to conduct their duties of the guardian and to have constant contact with that person and with hospital, and to follow actually the status of that person, and to ensure the institutionalization of persons with psychosocial disabilities who are ready for that. So there are some situations where medical staff is ready for and is willing to support the institutionalization of persons with psychosocial disabilities, but as mentioned, there is no any support in the local community, and unfortunately, we as NGO have to do some things which are competence of relevant institutions, but actually we cannot wait relevant institutions as they don't want to bear their responsibility, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miroslava, and thank you so much for sharing the work which you are doing with the government, challenges you are facing, um, what is needed to be done. And I think it's very key that we keep advocating with the government for the budget allocations, for bringing support in the community, for making services available in the community, so that there is a way forward, and so that we can we can get onto this the path of deinstitutionalization of people with disabilities. So, thank you so much, Miroslava. It was really an honor for us to, to discuss and have you today with for this What We Need spotlight interview series, and we will definitely be in connection with you. People who are watching this interview today, thank you so much for listening to us, and stay tuned. We are coming up with more interviews. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.